Good morning, dear hearts. We're in lesson 220. Congratulate yourself. You've completed part 1 of the workbook with today's lesson. And that's not a little accomplishment, so be proud that you have made the dedication, the commitment to this workbook, to this practice that I highly, 1, recommend, and 2, I know will change your life in the best ways. Today's lesson is about peace. It's the 3rd review lesson that is about peace. Now, of course, we still have our central thought. We are still affirming that I'm not a body. We're still affirming that indeed we are free. And we are still committed to and affirming that we are still as God created us, me. So these are our daily affirmations. This is our central idea, but these are affirmations. These are affirmations of claiming once and for all the truth of who we are. And all 3 of these sentences do exactly that. They claim that we are not bodies. They claim that we are free. And they claim that we are still, continue to be, and in stillness as we were created by God. Today's lesson, again, there is no peace except the peace of God. There's 3 lessons in the review and in this the section of the workbook that we are reviewing that all deal with peace. One of them is my favorite, as I've said. It's lesson 205, which is the review of lesson 185, which is I want the peace of God. I want the peace of God. That is all I want. It gives to me everything that I could ever possibly hope for or desire, the peace of God. And the peace of God is not a fickle kind of peace. It's not a peace that kind of comes, I'm peaceful now, but then the next thing happens and I've lost my peace. Actually, I don't lose it. I willingly give it away. But that my peace lessens or disappears entirely. But not the peace of God. The peace of God is with me always. The second peace-filled lesson in the review is the peace of God is shining in me now. The peace of God is that. It is radiant as we are. We are radiant. And there is nothing that can take that radiance away from us. And God's peace just speaks to that. And it attracts us. Light attracts light. The light in us attracts the light of peace that is shining in us now. And then today's lesson, that there is no peace except the peace of God. That is radiant, that is luminescent, that is constant and consistent, that is not mercurial or fickle. It doesn't change with the moment or the wind. It is forever. There is no peace except the peace of God. And in the italics, it tells us, let me not wander from the way of peace, for I am lost on other roads than this. There's no other road except one that gives me the peace of God, that I can have this feeling that all is well within me. I cannot affect anything outside of myself, but within me, within the peace of God, all is well. But let me follow him who leads me home. Home, I love that word, and the om in the middle. And peace is certain as the love of God. The love of God, we could say, is shining in me now. We could say, I want the love of God. And there is no love except the love of God. And all of that is actually true, because God's love and God's peace are both constant and consistent. Nothing disturbs them. Nothing is taken away from them. All they do is extend to cover and include everyone and everything. There is no peace except the peace of God. And it is here for everyone and all living things. We all are meant to experience and have the peace of God shining in us now. And indeed, that is all I ever want. That's it. That's it for today. That's it for part 1 of the workbook. Tomorrow there might be 2 different videos, one for the introduction to part 2, the introduction to part 2 of the workbook. We'll see. In the meantime, please subscribe, please like, please share, please comment, please pray, and please know that you indeed are loved so much more than you can even imagine. Namaste.